Hi, this is Racer Chicane 10R, welcoming you back to more Real Racing 3 gameplay. We are in the 2018 startup walkthrough, and I did do a series on the breakpoints for Le Mans, and I think after looking it over again, I needed to add some comments about the racing line, so that's what this series is about. The first corner we'll be talking about is the corner going into the Mulsanne straight. The point of what I'm showing you here is just the points where we want to position the car. So you first want to position your car on the left side of the track, and you're going to aim. See, our car's right here on the left side. We're going to aim to curve around to cover that apex point right at the top of the screen there. And then once we've gotten to the apex, as we are at the moment, then we're going to head for this other side of the track, way over to the left side. That gives us the fastest route through this turn. Now that we've seen the points, I want to set a benchmark time going through the curve, the turn, using the optimal breakpoints and the optimal racing line. I'll start over this side, I'll lift a little, we'll pull into this apex, and we'll go over to the other side. And at the roundabout sign, we'll check our speed. It is 161. On this run, we will attempt going through the same turn using the same breakpoints, however trying to stay away from the edges that we described as the best racing line. We'll take the middle of the track, brake about here, trying to stay in the middle of the track, and it's just not working. And you see our speed is reflected at the roundabout sign. We have, instead of 161, 135 or 6. Now that we've demonstrated that using the same braking point and trying to stay in the middle of the track, we do not have control. We will do what we would normally do in this case. When we found out we can't control it, we'll move our braking point back and see if we can control it, and then we'll check the speed at which we arrive at the roundabout sign again. This time we will lift. Actually, the brake point is a lift here in the middle of the course, right at the beginning of this. This still didn't keep control, but it's better control. Had a brake sound as well. And at our roundabout point, we have speed of 151, which is 10 miles slower than the 161 that we set in the benchmark run. Well, that concludes our tutorial on the first turn going into Mulsanne. Our next turn that we will focus on is the turn coming into the first chicane. Oh, I had too big of a lead here. We're coming into the first chicane after the first Mulsanne straight. Stay tuned. Alright, we are coming into the Mulsanne straight right off the last turn we were just demonstrating. And I want to show you the positions on the track where you want to place your car for the correct track line, racing line, into this turn in the first chicane. First one will be at the braking point. We're going to be on the far left side. Braking point is that light pole as we discussed before, and you see we're on the left side of the track. We will be heading for the guardrail on the right side. Hit the wrong button there, hit resume, and I wanted camera. So you can see we're on the we're too far to the left side, but this point right here, this corner, the apex of this corner is where the optimal track position is. And then we will come over and cut into this, and our correct track position on this point of the turn is right next to the barricade. You can see the track, middle of the track is way over here, and where we're going to go is in this section here. And then at this point we want to come back over to the other side of the track, right on this side, and then we'll let it fly over to the far side as well. Now I'll attempt to show a optimal brake points and track position example. Move over to the left, wait for your brake point to come up right here, and then turn into the apex, and then come back over to this apex. I didn't quite catch it. I'm skidding, so it's not really as optimal as possible. Now our benchmark time will come where the time flashes 143, maybe 142 miles per hour. We could actually be 144 if we were to take that a little better. In this example, we will see if we can, how well we can do taking the same brake point from the middle of the track and trying to stay in the middle of the track through the turn. As you can see, skidding out of control. When the light flashes on the left for the time, we'll look at the speed and we'll see that it is 136, which is well below the 143 benchmark we set. And now, since we demonstrated that we can't use the same brake point and stay in the middle of the track, we'll back it up a bit and see if we can remain in control and stay in the middle. A little better staying in the middle that time, and when the light flashes at the yellow points there, see we have 137 or 8 miles per hour, which our benchmark was 143. And again, this demonstrates that the racing line where you go from side to side, apex to apex, is the more efficient way through the track and faster way through the track. So now the second Mulsanne chicane will show you the track positions for the brake point at this point here. Just before you come into the brake point at the 200-yard marker, we'll be on the far right side of the track, as we can see the car is now. Coming into the first turn, we'll want to be straddling the ripple strip, maybe even putting one of the car tracks on this side of the dirt and the other car on the other side of the car wheel tracks on the ripple strip. On this part of the turn, we will do about the same. We'll try to straddle the ripple strip or put our wheel on the dirt and the ripple strip. And this point here, we will have the wheel on the dirt and inside the ripple strip. and then we'll go over to the other side to this guardrail. We will take our benchmark speed at that sign right there on the right with the blank white sign. Come into the second Mulsanne chicane and try to set a good benchmark with a good breakpoint and good track position. We have our track breakpoint coming up here. We're going to flow over to the left side and cover that dirt and cover that, and then accelerate back through and cover this dirt and go over to that side. And our benchmark speed at the sign is 146 or 7, depending on when you look at it. Coming into the second chicane and on the Mulsanne again, we're going to attempt to do the same break point from the middle of the track rather than from the right side, and we're going to attempt to stay in the middle of the track. Break point is the 200 yards after the house, right here. Just about impossible to stay in the middle of the track. And our benchmark spot is the sign, and the speed is 138.39, which is well below our other benchmark speed. Coming into the second Mulsanne chicane again, we'll try to do this from the middle of the track again, staying in the middle as best we can, and we'll use an earlier break point just before the edge of the house. And we kept it a little slower so we wouldn't skid, and our benchmark speed at the sign is 140. Still below the benchmark set when we were doing the track positions at the edges of the track instead of staying in the middle. And we've come to the end of another video. I thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you're seeing, you're learning something from it, please consider subscribing. Here's a button you can use to subscribe. And here is a link you can use to go to the next video in this series. I'll be discussing more turns on the Le Mans track and their correct track positions and the racing line that is most optimal. Come back and see how it goes.